Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I am your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, training facilitator and coach with Grant Cardone. I'm bringing you weekly sales solutions, sales tips, sales strategies, and a couple attitude adjustments thrown in there for good measure directly from the 10X world of Grant Cardone. Check this out. 80% of what we do here, 100% free. So the purpose of the podcast is to make sure the free stuff we're putting down, you're picking it up and you're plugging it into your sales, your business, and your life. So thank you so much in advance for hitting that subscribe button. And if you're getting some value from it, hey, make sure that you share this out in the cyberspace so that other people can benefit from it too. If it's helping you, I promise you, it's going to help somebody else. So get it out there. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about Grant Cardone's core values. But before we get into that, let's have a quick word from our sponsor, shall we? Today's episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast is brought to you by Grant Cardone and Cardone University's coaching program. Check this out. 84% of managers report being too busy to train and develop their team the way they wish they could. I mean, the hardest part of training salespeople is simply finding the time to get it done and get it done right. What would it be worth for you to have access to a certified Cardone coach who then could implement with your team over 30 plus managed learning courses, structured daily, weekly training facilitated by a certified Cardone coach. Our trainers literally become a virtual extension of your management team. There is an 88% improvement when coaching and training is involved. Improvement in what, Dave? Yeah, sales, productivity, production, profitability. Does your current coaching program and training process keep your people engaged? And does it deliver consistent results in volume and profit? If not, head on over to cardonesolutions.com/coaching. That's cardonesolutions.com/coaching. cardonesolutions.com/coaching. Get yourself scheduled on my calendar so we can have a conversation about this. Our process increases accountability, engagement, and duplication in a way that motivates while transferring skill and the skills that are needed right now to thrive in today's economy. cardonesolutions.com/coaching. Head on over there. Let's have a conversation. Now, on with the show. All right, so we're going to be talking about Grant Cardone's core values. Definitions, very important. Core values, okay? Core, the central or most important part of something. That's core. Value, a person's principles or standards of behavior. One's judgment of what is important in life. Core values, okay? So, what are your core values? Well, wait, I thought we were going to be talking about Grant's. Yeah, first, before we get into that, okay? I'm going to list them off. And I got them off of a post I saw on Instagram. But, you know, the podcast is about you. So before I get into Grant's business, let's get into yours. Is that okay? So here's your action idea number 1. Speaking of core values, okay? I'd like you to take the timer on your phone. Everyone's got one. You have a smartphone, right? Bust out the timer. Set it for 20 minutes. Yeah, I know you don't have 20 minutes, and that's exactly why this exercise is so important. So set the timer for 20 minutes and then list out your core values. Recently on the podcast, we talked about the 12 commandments of sales, 10 that morphed into 12. So when it comes to your core values, right? We had 10, 12 commandments of sales. When it comes to your core values, like how many should you have? Grant's list, which we'll get into in a minute, is 9 deep. So probably safe to say that you should have at least that, but no more than 15. Well, why no more than that? Well, like we're looking for like the central or most important principles or your standards of behavior. That's not a laundry list. It should be like 5, 10, 15 like solid core values. So I want you to make a real effort to do this exercise before we list out GCs. These are the things that make you tick. This is not you trying to be like Grant. We're talking about your core values first. So I want you to just list them out. And if you can get that handled in under 20 minutes, even better. But if you need more than 20, it might be an indication that you're creating and not listing. Maybe you've never really thought about this before. Like, man, I need more than 20 minutes on this. Okay? That means you don't have core values, or you certainly don't know what they are. Make sense? So do the exercise. Set the timer on your phone. Go get after it. I'm going to be right here when you're done. Are you ready? Push pause. Knock this sucker out. Come back. Okay, bye. And we're back. Okay, did you do it? Did you list out your core values? Come on. What was it like for you? How do you feel about the list? Is it complete? Maybe you got some work to do. Does it reflect your principles, your standards of behavior? Is it a solid representation of what is important in your life? Now, how are you executing on those core values? And then now we can transition. Okay, so answer those questions for yourself. What was the exercise like? Think about it. What was this like for you to do that? How do you feel about the list now that you're looking at it? Is it complete? Does it reflect your principles and your standards of behavior? Is it a solid representation of what's important in your life? And then more importantly, how are you executing on these things? Now, once you have that, let us take a look at what can we learn from Grant's core values that we can use to add wood to the fire that we should already have burning. Okay? So here's Grant Cardone's core values. If you're taking notes, I know you are because you wrote some notes earlier, right? Okay. Get results. Give more than you get. Repeat successful actions. Confront the hard stuff. Reward those who get results. Invest in making yourself better. Never depend on one action or one flow. Be analytical and decisive in your decisions. Create a culture that reflects your core values. So those are Grant's 9. So the second action idea then would be some challenging questions for you. Do you have more attention on results or efforts? Have you made outflow senior to inflow yet? Are you always looking for a better way to do something? Or do you have the discipline to stay on one successful action and repeat it over and over and over again? Why don't you confront the hard stuff? And how's that working out for you? Who gets your time, energy, and money, and what is the ROI from those investments? And speaking of investments, in what ways do you pay yourself first? How are you growing the number one resource that is your brain? How would your life be if you had 7 different sources of income, all of which were independently able to support your desired lifestyle? Man, that's a great question, isn't it? Let me ask it again. What would your life be like if you had 7 different sources of income, all of which were able to support independently your desired lifestyle? Ooh. Can you be emotionally flat in your decisions, and can you make them quickly? Are the people that you surround yourself with supporting your vision? Or are they clouding it? So how do you put this all together now? Okay, we've got your core values. We've got Grant's. We've asked ourselves some hard questions. You got your list, right? You got Grant's list, right? Would it be a bad idea if you put this all together and did that in a way that puts your core values on steroids. Remember, we are adding wood to a fire that's already burning. Whether that is some coals smoldering, they can still start a fire. Trust me, I live in California. Okay? How big and bright is your fire burning right now? Okay? How big and bright can we get it? Remember the 10X rule. Burn the place down. Okay? So I want you to take another 20 minutes. Oh, dude, 40 minutes? Yeah, take another 20. Okay? And see what you can do with all of this. Just put it all together. Put it all together in this nice, big, successful bowl of 10X soup. And start a fire that is so big, so bright, that you literally burn the place down. And this has been another episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you haven't had the chance to subscribe yet, please take a moment and do so. Make sure you do these exercises I'm talking about. This could be the most important 40 minutes of the rest of your life, okay? Also, if you know somebody that needs help with this, please make sure that you send it to them, or you get this out into the cyberspace so somebody can trip into it and get the benefit that they need from this as well. Also, coaching. If you need help with all of this stuff, that's what we're here for. So if you want to sign up for a complimentary coach session, head on over to cardonesolutions.com/coaching. Get yourself on the calendar. Let's see what we can do for you, okay? I'm going to leave you with the words of Grant Cardone, which is this. You know what they are. Be great. Because nothing else pays. We'll see you soon. Thanks again for being here.